Hey everyone, and welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I am going to be sharing my money saving tips on how you can eat healthy while staying on a budget. So in case you are new to my channel, my name is Marissa. I'm a pharmacist and health coach, and I wanted to let you all know that I am starting a brand new series here on my channel called Getting Healthy for Beginners. And actually the first video in the series was uploaded last week, and it was all about how to start eating healthy without restrictive dieting. So I'm gonna leave a link for that down below in the description box in case you missed it and wanna check it out. Also, make sure that you are subscribed to my channel so that you know when I post a new video. Okay, so a really common concern that I hear from patients who are wanting to improve their health and improve their diet is that they are really concerned about their finances, that it will be really expensive to buy and eat good quality food that's healthy or at least healthier, and to do that on a regular basis. So my response to this is that yes, there are expensive health foods out there, but there are also health foods available that are more affordable. Plus there are money saving tips that you can use and implement in order to buy and eat these foods on a regular basis while also staying on your food budget. So that's what I'm going to talk about in today's video. I personally use these tips to help me do this each week. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. So tip number one is to find out what grocery stores you have in your area. It's kind of crazy that sometimes we don't even know what food stores we have near us. We can be such creatures of habit where you have like one grocery store that you always go to and you never think to try out others. I'm guilty of this, and when I do venture out to other stores or even like a local farmer's market, sometimes I'm able to find what I'm looking for at a cheaper price, which is awesome. You can totally shop around and go to various stores in order to get all of your weekly groceries, but if you can't or you don't want to do that, then what I would recommend is to start looking online. For example, there's Amazon, Walmart, Thrive Market, Vitacost. These can be great options, especially if you don't live in an area where you have easy access to a lot of different grocery stores. Tip number two is to buy in bulk if and when you can. So once every few months, what I like to do is to make a trip over to Costco. It's a little farther away from where I live compared against the grocery stores that I go to most frequently. But when I do go, I'm able to stock up on foods that would otherwise cost me a lot more money in the long run to buy at my local stores. Now, if you guys are curious on what I like to buy when I go to Costco, then I actually have a couple grocery haul videos here on my channel, and I'll leave a link for them down below. Another thing that I like to do is to look online for like weekly sales, coupons, buy one, get one deals. If I see something that I don't necessarily need right in that moment, but I know that I'll need it sometime soon, then I will just go ahead and buy it and stock up on it right then and there so that when I do need it, I'm not having to spend full price in order to get it. Tip number three is to plan your meals ahead of time and to make a shopping list so that you can stay on track while you're in the grocery store. It is super easy to get distracted when you're in the store, especially when you're going up and down all of the different aisles. So if you know what meals you're going to cook for that week, then you know what you need to buy, and it just helps you to not buy a lot of unneeded items and also helps to prevent food waste, which would just be wasted money. Tip number four is to bring your lunch and snacks to work and to prepare your own breakfast and dinners the majority of the time with natural, whole, real foods. Sometimes you get into a bind and you just need to grab some food on the go or something that you don't have to cook, but this can be really expensive if you get into the habit of doing it all the time. And this goes for both healthy and unhealthy foods. So what I would highly recommend is that you start planning on bringing your lunch and snacks from home and preparing your own breakfast and dinners. So essentially what we're doing with this tip is just taking the money that you already spend on going out to eat and on highly processed foods that you can get from the grocery store or from the vending machines, and instead spending it on healthier foods. So instead of thinking of it like it's going to cost you a lot more, instead think that you are just shifting the money that you already spend so that you can buy and afford healthier foods. Going out to eat and purchasing highly processed foods like sugary cereals, frozen food meals, bags of chips, soda, etc. These can be really expensive, and if you're not buying them as much as you're used to, then you're going to save a lot of money in this area and in turn be able to spend that money on healthier foods like fruits and vegetables and good quality fats, meats, and dairy, depending on your diet and what you like to eat. Tip number 5 is to meal prep on your days off. It saves you so much time during the week, and it also helps prevent you from needing to grab that quick snack or meal on the go, which usually isn't super healthy to begin with, and also tends to cost you way more than if you were to instead make it yourself. I like to prepare my lunches the night before, and I also like to bake muffins or make my own snack bars on the weekends. I'll store them in the freezer so that they stay fresh all throughout the week, and then I can just defrost like one at a time. A personal favorite of mine are date bars. I love them. They're so sweet and chewy, almost like a candy bar. And I actually have a whole video here on my channel showing you guys how I make them, so I'll leave a link for that video down below as well. I also like to buy my fruits and vegetables whole, and then I will just chop them myself. I find that the pre-cut produce tends to be more expensive, and it also just doesn't last quite as long, and that can contribute to food waste, which again is just wasted money. For example, when I make my date bars, I like to buy the whole dates and pit them myself because the already pitted dates are usually more expensive. And tip number 6 is just to consider what could happen to your health if you aren't buying and consuming healthy foods, and to think of all of the money that you would potentially have to spend in order to either treat or manage a health condition brought on by unhealthy eating. So my grandmother always told me as I was growing up that you can either spend your money on good food to take care of yourself right now, or you can give it to your doctor and to your pharmacy later on when you don't feel good. And it's very, very true. Especially now, since the majority of people have high deductible insurance plans. Times have definitely changed. Things aren't necessarily covered anymore at a zero copay. Many of us are having to spend a lot of money out of pocket on medical care and medications. A good example of this is for those who have been diagnosed with type 2 diabetes with insulin resistance due to years of consuming an excessive amount of carbohydrates. Now, depending on the severity of the condition, you very well may need to inject multiple types of insulin into your body and continuously check your blood sugar levels all throughout the day. So you would need all the testing supplies to do that. And if you have type 2 diabetes at that severity level, then you very well may also be on additional medications for other chronic conditions like high blood pressure, high cholesterol, maybe even nerve pain for neuropathy. I've seen insured patients spend hundreds of dollars every month or every 3 months to get their medications. But even if you only have a $10 copay on each prescription, it can still add up really quickly for individuals who need to take multiple medications. And that's a lot of money to spend on top of what you are already spending on food, because you still need to eat, right? And don't forget, you're also paying insurance premiums, life insurance. Maybe you've got cavities from eating lots of sugar, so you got dentist bills. If you had to go to the hospital, if you had to ride in an ambulance in order to get there. You also have routine doctor visits throughout the year for prescription refills and to get your labs checked. The money you spend on gas for your car in order to get you there, plus loss of work and whether or not you have enough PTO to cover all of your absences. And look, medications, your doctors, your dentist, the hospitals, the EMT, the pharmacies, they are all there, and it is great that they are there when we need them for regular checkups and when we are in trouble and all of that. And sometimes taking a drug and having a procedure done is unavoidable. But depending on the condition, a lot of them can be prevented by eating a healthy diet and by taking care of yourself by watching what you eat, along with other things like managing stress, exercising, getting adequate levels of sleep, right? So you can potentially save yourself a heck of a lot of money every month and in the course of your life by choosing to buy and consume healthy or healthier foods and by taking care of yourself. So after saying all of that, to me, it just begs the question of like, how can you afford not to eat healthy? And if you could try to prevent all of those unwanted financial burdens, why wouldn't you? I am not saying all of this to scare you, but I mention it because it is so important to know what can happen. And I believe that you as the patient should be well informed about things like this so that if you want to, then you can do something about it. So with all of that, I'm going to wrap up this video here. I hope that these tips help you when it comes to trying to figure out how to buy and eat healthy foods on a budget. As always, if you enjoyed this video, then please go ahead and give it a big thumbs up. It really helps me out. And make sure that you are subscribed to the channel so that you know when I post a new video here on YouTube. You can also follow me on Instagram at Simply Health with Marissa for daily updates and wellness tips. Otherwise, I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye!